Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. My name is TannerFishies. In today's video, we are going to be discussing Ninjago set number 71814, the Tournament Temple City, which is a very large Ninjago Dragons Rising Season 2 Part 2 set, retailing for $250 in the United States and containing 3,489 pieces. My goal for today's video is to simply try my best and talk about this set to the best of my ability. I am not a professional LEGO review channel, but I do like to talk about sets that I buy, and I did buy this guy, so let's talk about it. This is a very respectful looking Ninjago temple. I think it looks extremely cool, very elegant, very beautiful, gorgeous, all of the above, and I love a lot of the nature aesthetic as well, also included with this set. You also get a ton of minifigures to populate the scene, making this a fun set to display as well. There are some play features every now and then, and we will highlight those as this review goes on. But overall, this is a very well-detailed Ninjago set, and again, with several minifigures and a few side builds, this set does have a lot to look at and a lot to get into. So without further ado, let's get started. I imagine this will be a very long review. Let's just dive on into it. Really quick, here we have the front of the box. It is the front of the box, and the back of the box, surprise, surprise, is still the back of the box. All right, so just starting off with the minifigures, we have quite a few to get through, so let's start with Source Tournament Lloyd. I really like this version of Lloyd. Now, eventually, when the rest of the sets do get released in my country, I will make a separate video detailing the entire selection, so as of right now, we are just going to give you a very quick general overview of this figure. I like it a lot though. I think the color scheme is excellent with that light spring green that Dragons Rising has introduced, and for weapons, Lloyd comes with a golden sword and two katanas, stored very nicely in this brand new armor piece, which is new for this wave, new for this year. Even though it is kind of like a retread of the Skybound armor, pretty much the exact same style, exact same thing, just a little bit different, a little bit more fancy, dare I say. I also love the torso print and the leg print, along with that mask and headband combo. This version of Lloyd is really, really cool. I like this one quite a bit. Unfortunately, the face print underneath that mask is the exact same as the Ninjago movie Lloyd, so not really the Dragons Rising one. That is true for some of the other ninja as well in this set. But oh well, you win some, you lose some. Overall, this version of Lloyd I am very happy with. Such a great figure. The same cannot really be said for Source Tournament Cole, which I feel like is a miss for a couple of reasons. For one, that mask. Why does he have an orange mask? That just looks ridiculous. And two, where is that headband that we love so much? The man bun piece. Oh well, Source Tournament Cole, everybody. For weapons, he does utilize the exact same shoulder armor, so he can use the exact same katanas that Lloyd has. Also, this set does include some shorter katanas as well. The instructions sometimes suggest that you put one long one and one short one into the shoulder pad. No, I think I'll be consistent. Two long ones for the main ninja. Otherwise, the rest of the figure is well built, well put together. I like this design overall, and I have released a separate video at this point talking about how I would personally upgrade this figure. Check that out if you want. And also for another weapon, Cole has this hammer. It's just a small brick-built hammer. Nothing too crazy. Not to mention, yeah, that hairpiece and also that face print we have seen since the Ninjago movie, so nothing really new there. Next up, we have Source Tournament Zane. This figure is also extremely nice. I love the designs of these Source Tournament Ninja. They are just so awesome looking, so cool looking in the case of Zane. Get it? Because ice, haha. That reflective printing is also very apparent on Zane. Look at that. That is so cool. Otherwise, same shoulder pad as the other ninja, same two swords on the back. Zane does not use his Dragons Rising face. He also does not use a headband because he does not have a headband piece. Really wish he did though, even though he doesn't really have hair per se, just, wrap it around his head, call it good from there. Otherwise, Zane also has some shurikens, the shurikens of ice, perhaps. Definitely not, just normal golden shurikens, I guess. I also love the silver printing too, not only on the torso and the legs, but also for the arms. I love those silver arms. I'm so glad they did not decide to go with a human cloak Zane for the tournament. We need Titanium Zane in a tournament style in the official canon, and finally we have one. Very, very awesome figure in my opinion. definitely one of the highlights of this set for me. Next up, we have Source Tournament Nia, who has this really big, really impressive trident weapon. We're just going to take that away, though, because it's a little bit too big for this specific showcase. But overall, yeah, this is pretty much Source Tournament Nia. Very nice color scheme. I love the different shades of blue. I love how the belt is like this shiny reflective blue. I did not expect that. Would it have been nice to see some dark red? I mean, sure. But I feel like Nia being the blue ninja, if you will, for this tournament, because Jay is doing something else, I feel like she definitely nails it. Same shoulder pads, same swords on the back, same headband hairpiece combo that we have been seeing for some of the other ninja, same half mask, all that good stuff, and also same face from the Ninjago movie. But overall, I love this Nia. I wasn't super big on it when I first saw pictures, but in person, this is such a cool design for Nia. The blue looks so good. I love this figure now. This figure is probably one of my favorite tournament ninja. Next up, we have Source Tournament Aaron. Finally, Aaron gets a new figure, and he also has a super large weapon that we will probably take away here because it's a little bit too big, but it's one of those grappling hook weapons that we've seen for Aaron a couple times before. Now, officially, in terms of the actual set itself, Aaron does not have a shoulder pad. However, my set included 2 extra ones. Not sure if that's the norm for every set out there or every copy of this set. I hope so, but long story short, you do get extras, so I gave one to Aaron because he looked weird without it. Speaking of looking weird, what is with that dark blue mask, man? Now, in my Cole video, my revamp of the Cole tournament design, in that whole showcase, I said that the orange mask from Cole would work a lot better on Aaron, and I do stand by that point. The dark blue, sure, it matches some of the torso detailing, but it doesn't look that good just as just in general. I don't think it looks all that great. Aaron would have looked a lot better with an orange half mask instead. Otherwise, you know, same face print, same hair that we've been seeing for Aaron, but it is nice to get a new Aaron suit regardless. The suit itself, I don't really have an issue with. He also has 2 of these little swords that also fit in there. I just gave the little swords to Aaron because he's a little baby ninja, you know? The back of the torso also does have, I guess I'll show you this quick, just because, you know, this is officially how he appears in the set. The back of the torso does have some dark blue detailing as well, which I guess kind of lines up with the dark blue mask, but still, I feel like an orange mask would have worked a lot better. Like I said though, the rest of the torso and the leg printing, that's not too bad. I like how that looks. Just a shame about that dark blue mask. Next, we have Wildfire. I guess this is officially Source Tournament Wildfire, I guess now. This version of Wildfire we have talked about a ton of times before in previous videos and previous reviews, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. This is, I think, my 3rd copy of this figure, if I'm remembering correctly. If not, it's definitely not my first. Wildfire includes a little heat blast and one of these little knives or mini swords. Whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we've seen this figure before. It remains unchanged from the last time that we saw it. But you know who is new for this set? This new Lord Wrass. Oh my goodness. Look at this guy. His hammer is pretty much the exact same thing that we've seen before, except it's red now. Let's take that hammer away though, because I want to get a close look at this dude. Oh my goodness, he looks great. I love this design for Lord Wrass this time around. This might be my favorite that we've seen so far. He's got the blood moon hands, the blood moon markings on his face. That head mold is not new, but the red markings are new. So, oh, there's a hair on mine. Cat hair is not included. There's a couple of them. Get out of here. You're ruining this awesome showcase. This minifigure is so cool. I love it so much. The exact same armor that is used here was also used on the Crystal King way back during the Ninjago crystallized wave. I think it looks good for Lord Wrass. I also love that torso printing, the arm printing, the leg printing on the gunmetal gray pants. Oh, so good. Let's take that armor off. Just taking off the armor, we have a nice gunmetal gray, shiny, reflective wolf mask symbol, almost like a mini gong on the back of Lord Wrass. I wonder if he can, like, just smack that with the hammer. It's like a mini gong of shattering, you know? But otherwise, guys, this design for Lord Wrass, I love. I love the blue, I love the red, the black. Looks really good. Really, really good. I like this design quite a bit. Like I said, might be my favorite Lord Wrasse yet. Next up, we have the new Jordana, which also is new for this wave, featuring a bunch of new stuff. So this figure is pretty much all around new. First of all, elephant in the room, that Shatterspin armor. Let's just take away this pretty awesome Blood Moon sword that we saw last wave. Awesome to get one of those again. But that armor, that is very much Shatterspin armor. It's not painted like the Shatterspin armor in the show, and at some point I might try to paint that myself. But in person, it doesn't look that bad. It's molded the exact same way as the traditional Shatterspin armor. It's just not colored like it. Do I have it on backwards? Maybe I have it on backwards. I have no idea. Also, amazing wolf mask symbol on the back. And overall, I like this new Jordana. Oh, and also I forgot to mention the hairpiece and the face are not new for this specific figure. Next up, we have Mr. Pale making his debut in a Ninjago set. The original Mr. Pale, or the Pale Man, whatever you want to call him, he originally appeared in Ultra Agents, not Ninjago. He is a Ninjago character, technically, but he did not appear in Ninjago physically in terms of a set until now. And this design is updated slightly from the original. And here is that original Mr. Pale, just for comparison. Definitely similar, and I will probably be doing a more in-depth showcase talking about these similarities when I eventually do get talks, because I think that would make for a fun video. But as of right now, there is the comparison. But overall, I like this design more so. I love the money print as well for the shirt. I love the hat, that face print with the glasses on the clear head. That's also extremely well done. His gun is super fun, and I like his symbol on the back. Overall, Mr. Pale, the Pale Man, Invisible, the Master of Light, he goes by many names. Whatever you want to call him, you do get him in this set, and I think he is an awesome addition. Next up, we have this guy who the box calls a Temple Guard. He has a super long spear that we will just take from him because it's way too big for this showcase. But overall, in terms of the minifigure, is anyone else getting Echo Zane from this? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm getting the robot that was from the Birchwood Forest that Zane fought as well. Who knows? But either way, this thing is pretty great. It uses the dragon armor, which I think is interesting, that the Dragon Ninja used from Ninjago Crystallized. And yeah, I'm definitely getting Echo Zane from this, especially from the back. That definitely looks like maybe Echo Zane, kind of, sort of. But overall, that is the Temple Guard. Next up, we have Blecht. According to the box, this guy's name is Blecht, and he appears to be some type of random citizen, just kind of going about his day in the Tournament Temple City. Let's take away his giant fishing pole, but tell you what, we will let him keep the fish. This guy is very generic, kind of like a generic citizen from what I understand again, but some Ninjago fans have been theorizing that maybe he could be the new Master of Time because of that pocket watch that he has. Interesting. Not sure what that has to do with fish, but sure. He also has this back printing, which again is kind of reminiscent of other tournament figures that we have seen and will see. Does he have an alternate face? He does not. He is only one-faced, which, you know, I guess that's good. But overall, that is Blecht. Will there be something more to this character later on? Who knows? Next up, we have the blacksmith, according to the box. And as you can see here, she is hammering a glowing molten katana there. Very reminiscent of Kai way back in the earlier seasons for Ninjago. Otherwise, yeah, this is just another, you know, generic citizen. Nothing too crazy going on with this one, except she does have an alternate face where she's a little bit more happy, so I guess that's good. I like her hair, the exact same hair as Euphrasia, but in dark brown instead of black. Yeah, she's not my favorite minifigure in this set, but still, she is a civilian, so another character to populate the space, I guess. Last, and probably least, for minifigures, we have this guy who is named Robbie, I think. It's R-O-B-Y. It's either Robbie or Roby or something else. I don't know. Either way, he is just another generic civilian, I guess. I like his torso print, though. That would actually work really well as maybe a Ninjago core Master Chen, especially with that back printing. Very Chen-esque, I'd say. For an accessory, he has a phone, which I'm pretty sure I gave to him upside down, so that's whatever, I suppose. Does he have an alternate face? Let us see. He does. He's a little bit scared on this side. Rather, you know, he's rather happy on this side, but he's scared on the other side. So you can, I guess, change his mood depending on how you choose to display this set. I don't know. He's just a guy. I got nothing else to say about him. Moving on to side builds, we only have a couple of them. The first one is this small little blimp or balloon for Mr. Pail. So what you do is you get Mr. Pail out and you just put him in the pail. Mr. Pail goes in the pail. There is no place to put him in there. There aren't any studs or anything, so you just kind of gotta set him in there and he'll just kind of lean about. You can kind of do a little bit of that, rocking him back and forth as he shoots at the unsuspecting public from above. That's definitely horrifying. The rest of the balloon looks fine. I like the actual blimp build overall. We also have some nice lanterns. Can this turn back here? It can, so you can get some nice little turning action there if you actually wanted to play with this thing. But overall, it's just a small little blimp, nothing too crazy. We've seen these before, though this one is probably my favorite out of all the small blimps. So good job, set. Way to go. Moving on to the other side build in this set, we have this small dragon, which kind of looks like Rontu, but it's not Rontu. Some viewers over on my live streams have taken to calling this thing Nontu, as in the non-Rontu, because it kind of looks like Rontu from the show, except it's not purple, but that head design is very similar to how we see Rontu in the show. First of all, for the head, same exact head that was used on Ryu, except it is a little bit different, obviously, in terms of the printing and the color. I do like the printing overall. Nice autumn colors here. The entire dragon has a nice fall aesthetic to it. I like it. But with this being the Ryu head mold, same lack of articulation and same hollowness underneath. That's just great. There is some articulation here in the neck. You can move that up and down. There's a hinge as well at the base, so you can get some movement there. But the head, it's supposed to move independently. Can't really do that. Kind of just wiggles a little bit. Otherwise, I also like the horns, which is another reason why people have been calling this set, or this dragon rather, non-Rontu. The horns look very similar to Rontu, especially the one with the lantern. So maybe this dragon was originally designed to be Rontu at some point. Who knows? Otherwise, what else do we have for the dragon? Well, Wildfire can obviously ride on the thing, so there's a spot for her as well. I suppose any character could jump on there and ride the dragon, but the set pretty much makes it a point to say that this is Wildfire's dragon, so she just sits up there like so. You can remove her at any time, of course. Other points of articulation, we have the feet, or the legs rather, which these are very, very strange legs for a dragon. I don't really care for the look of this at all. That stance is very awkward. Very blocky, very awkward. Also, not to mention, the feet are non-existent. What are those, dude? Oh, there's a nice little cat hair on there, too. Wonderful. They're great for picking up cat hair, and you can move the little stubby claw, I guess, so that's fun. Otherwise, the rest of the arms don't really have much going on. There's a sticker here on either side. Ball joints at the shoulder. Ironically enough, there are some wings, but good luck getting this thing into a flying position unless you just decide to Superman the thing, like that. Oh, how wonderful. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, the wings, you can display those any way you want. You know, have fun with that. Good luck. Just do whatever. The back legs, funny enough, have more articulation than the front legs. There's a ball joint there, and there's actually a foot this time, not just a nub. The foot can move as well. Very cool. We also have a tail, ball joint there, ball joint, ball joint, ball joint. You know how Lego tails work at this point. Pretty much all of them have the exact same design. Yeah, not really feeling Nontu here. I think that this dragon maybe could have been sacrificed for the sake of enhancing the rest of the set. More on that here in a second. The dragon is fine, but it's definitely not my favorite dragon ever, and if it was not included at all, like I said, I would not be upset. I do like the color scheme, though. I like a good fall dragon. That's a great idea for a dragon. Maybe I will modify this dragon at some point in the future. All right, so before we get into more detailed sections of the review, this is quite a massive set, and my recording space is very limited, so I can't really put you guys on a tripod, but what I can do is take you through the city on a little tour, perhaps, and then later on focus on each individual part more specifically. So right off the bat, this is the temple itself, the main temple section of the build, the tournament temple city, the temple of the city, if you will. Very reminiscent of the Temple of Air Jitsu, I'd say. This set also reminds me a lot of the Temple of Resurrection from Ninjago Season 8 and any generic Ninjago city set out there. A lot of really cool details all over the place here. A very excellent build as well. Some of the components are kind of hard to put together. The way that it's built is a couple of these rock formations kind of collapsed together using Technic pins and axles and all that. It's definitely easier said than done, and sometimes certain areas do not go together as well as you'd think that they would. But overall, nice little dock section down here, looking very cool. Nice crane that we will take a look at later as well. Again, we're going to break this down into more detail after this general overview. Nice little walkway there leads you up the bridge into the actual tournament temple city itself, which is equipped with many, many trees that just kind of also add to the fall aura of this set. A very autumn feeling build, and I like that quite a bit. We have some fallen leaves there on rooftops, a couple of scattered leaves throughout the actual build itself. We have a couple of buildings as well, including that building right there. Going through the arches, though, we can get to the actual main temple, like I said earlier, and there are some really cool things inside the temple that we will look at here momentarily. I also love the build of the temple. Again, very Temple of Air Jitsu with some similar roof structures and just an overall elegant build. I like this build a lot. Again, some parts were kind of whatever, including like the main rock formation. You know, more on that here momentarily. We also have a tiny blacksmith shop down there, which is also really well put together and well detailed. Overall, this temple, if you will, this entire build, it's definitely quite the build. There's a lot of presence here, a lot of demanding of space and whatnot. Space that I might not have for a fully fledged professional review, but good thing I am not a professional LEGO reviewer. All right, let's start talking about these sections individually, starting with the docks. Why not? All right, so starting off down in the bottom left-hand corner, we have this small little dock section. You can put your fishing guy on the actual dock itself. There is no water anywhere, but, you know, use your imagination and you will be fine. There is a crane back here, though, that you can move if you really want. You can swing that around any which way that you want. Probably not that hard, because the chain isn't really hooked up to anything. There is a box here with some stuff, some supplies. Don't know what that says, but you can hook that up there. There is no like reeling back of the chain. It's just kind of like flopping about. You could probably even hit the fishing guy if you really tried hard enough. There you go. But yeah, there is no reeling there. Don't know if there was supposed to be, but regardless, you can move it if you want. There is a temple guard right there. Going through the actual temple gates, though, you have a couple of climber hooks down there. Nice to see more of those pieces making a comeback in Dragons Rising Season 2 Part 2. Also, I really like the temple structure here. I think it looks real nice. It's built real nice. I think it looks very pretty, very elegant, everything in between. There's also a small golden dragon boy up there. Look at that. Now, those small dragons have been used in other sets from this wave. I don't have those sets just yet. So for right now, this little teeny tiny golden dragon is pretty much all I have and pretty much all I need at the moment, I suppose. We also have a couple of things down here, a couple of different rock formations, little bits of grass. Like I said, you will see a lot of that throughout the build. It's a very nature-filled environment. The bridge is interesting. I'm not a huge fan of how it connects one section to the other. It's kind of at like a 45-degree angle, very awkward, very strange. And also anyone who stands on it kind of has to stand way back to make it look somewhat decent. So I guess that's kind of whatever. But the bridge construction, you know, as a bridge, I like how that's built. I like the arches here. I'm just not crazy about how it connects from one side to another. But again, the bridge is very Temple of Air Jitsu, almost as if this set is kind of like a callback to that original set for a lot of different reasons. Feel like that bridge is definitely at least inspired by the Temple of Air Jitsu. But going up the bridge, you can get to the upper floor, which has a lot of stuff going on. First of all, we have a tree here. It's not going to focus, but there is a tree here that falls off way too easily. Really don't like that. Maybe it's intentional. Who knows? Maybe the tree is supposed to flop about every which way. I don't know. These trees, I like them, but they aren't the most stable things ever. So for the time being, I guess we'll leave that off because it's probably going to fall off again regardless. But you have a couple of other trees back there, and we will be talking more about some of the stuff in the background a little bit later, so stay tuned for that. But first of all, let's talk about some features here. So first of all, we have something here, which I think is interesting. We have a little hidey hole. See if I can access this here. Come on. Let me in. I want in. There you go. You have a nice golden machete back there. The secret of the golden machete, guarded by this rock. What exactly does that say in Ninjago? Not too sure. Again, not a professional. But there is a golden machete back there. Probably should have been maybe something else, something a little bit more significant, but it's whatever. And getting this rock formation back in place, a little bit easier said than done, but you can make it work. There also are some branches here. You can move those any which way that you want, kind of, you know, fix the scene however you prefer. Moving a little bit more to the right, we have this gigantic cave section. The cave is interesting for a couple of reasons. First of all, it does have an action feature. So as you can see up here, we do have this little thing right there that spins. It's kind of loose, signifying that it is something. And if you really wanted to, you could press that, causing a bit of the roof to cave in. So I guess that's cool. It's good for play, not so much for display. And for display, you can just chuck that up in there. Speaking of display, though, it also works as a place to store a dragon, specifically your buddy Nantu, who you get in this set. You can just kind of put him in there, and there you go. Nice little way to display the dragon. You might need to adjust the wings or whatever as you see fit, but that is a good spot for the dragon if you really wanted it to be a spot for the dragon. Going back over here and removing Jordana for the time being, there is something that you can do with that rock sitting there, and I suppose it does make sense now why the bridge is at an angle such as that. I guess we will use Robbie as a test subject. According to the set animations, you can take the rock off its little base there and kind of huck it down the bridge at any unsuspecting citizens going about their day with their upside down phone. Let's see if we can... Wow. Amazing. I guess he's safe. No, we gotta hit him. Come here. You're gonna go right there. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Come here, rock. All right. Never mind. But yeah, that is there if you want. Now back there we have a little hut. That is, I believe, the fisherman's hut. Just opening up the door here. Not really opening all that much. We will see more of it from the other side, so stay tuned. We will get to that here momentarily. I do like the roof, though. It's built using garage doors, which was also a method used on the Temple of Airjitzu. So again, another reference. There are also these ropes going from one end to the other. They go up to that and then over to the main temple. Not sure what that's exactly for, but if you really wanted to, you could try to fit Aaron on one of them. Maybe he could zip line down it or something. Hey, you can hit him with the rock. Cool. And there's also a tree back there. Hooray for trees and stuff. We also have this temple gate here, kind of, sort of. Another temple gate, more or less. You can position this any which way that you want. It is on ball joints, so pose that to your heart's content, I suppose. There also is some bamboo there behind the rock, so that's kind of cool. Again, I do like the nature portion of this build. Very Ninjago City Gardens-esque. And now we get to the actual main temple, which is, yeah, more or less the main meat, if you will, of this set. We've already talked about the action feature there, but you can see in there we have a trophy. That is the source trophy, the Blood Moon trophy, whatever you want to call it. That goes right back there. We will take a closer look at that here in a second, but you can see it through the doorway, looking all elegant and whatnot. Very awesome. Otherwise, these roofing pieces are built up using a lot of the same similar methods. They are attached using clips, and you can adjust those a little bit if you want, but I like to keep like a more full roofing. You also have some trees right there and back there. Nice spot for minifigures on either side, just because there are some open studs, so do with that what you will. Nice little roofing section there too, going up to the next few levels. And then we get to the top, which has some fire in there. That's kind of like the light that guides the city, I guess. And we have this nice structure up here, which uses one of those dragon heads from the Dragon Striker things, whatever the horrible little knot spinner sets were that came out earlier this year. There's one of those pieces in gold. Very nice recolor. Makes for a nice crown on top of the entire temple, I'd say. You can adjust that if you want. want, but I don't know why you would. And there are some blades sticking out the top, making for a very nice looking temple from the front. I also love how the windows look there too. Very elegant, very proper. And like I said, we will be flipping that around here momentarily to look on the inside and some of the other buildings as well. But moving on down to the blacksmith shop, there are quite a few things here to take note of. First of all, we do have another little secret entrance, if you will. So just kind of moving Zane, you can see there's this pretty obnoxious brick sticking out of the wall. Push that over to the side, and there you go. Secret door that Zane can go through. Awesome. I will say, I do like how this set doesn't have, like, the action features. Come on, close now. There we go. I do like how the set doesn't have the action features defined by a gigantic, obnoxious, like, red brick. Like, that could have easily been a red part. I'm glad it's not. It blends into the environment, and if you put a figure in front of it, it blends in even more like that. We also have the blacksmith shop here with our blacksmith right there, and just moving her out of the way, there is a pretty cool action feature going on with this entire assembly right here. When you move this wheel, which I do really like, there's a gear back here, and when you spin that gear, the little water well thing activates. And also, as you can see in there, the blacksmith hammer periodically hits the anvil. Look at that. That's a very cool way of connecting everything. I like that a lot, actually. And I do like the design of this wheel. Kind of a pain to put together, admittedly, but I do like the look of it. You can't really spin it the other way, as we have some stoppers there, but you can keep spinning it the normal way, and you can spin it like that, or you are supposed to use the gear on the back, and that properly spins the thing. I think that's a nice action feature. Otherwise, the rest of the little blacksmith shop here looks pretty cute, and we also have a tree there. Hooray for trees. Now let's focus on the back of the structure. Let's turn this entire thing around so we can see even more secrets. Okay, so here we have the entire back of the model, and this is kind of done up in the dollhouse style, I suppose, in the sense that there is a lot of open stuff here to look at. So where do we even begin? Let's start down at the bottom here next to the blacksmith shop, or in the blacksmith shop rather. You can see some interesting things in there. First of all, this is a better look at the gear function, how that works. Just turning that turns a couple more gears, which hits that little nub on the inside, which causes the anvil to be struck as well. Also in there, I don't know if you guys can tell, that is a brown recolor of the climber armor back there. Very cool inclusion. I like that quite a bit. Climber Dareth incoming, I suppose, right? We also have some water on the roof. I'm not crazy about how this is built. It looks a little unfinished, but the water does go all the way around the roof and falls off the edge there. I think that's well done. I just don't really like whatever this is in the corner. It looks a little, again, unfinished, a little bit awkward, definitely not the most polished thing ever. And also the entire roof of the blacksmith shop can come off, showing some pretty great details, including a micro Kai figure that's super cute. And over there we have a J trading card from way back in the day. Another one to add to the Ninjago trading card collection, I suppose. Moving on down next to the blacksmith shop, we have more secrets, including a trophy back there and this little fire there. What are they roasting? What are they cooking? Who's to say? The cave is actually pretty barren and pretty empty. There's not a whole lot going on in there, but there are some things, including on the other side, we have a shrine there, kind of decked out with the Cole's Dragon Titan mech with some flames around it. Very awesome. Couple bones there and a statue of somebody way back there, if you can see. Hello, person. I wonder who you were. Moving up to the actual temple, here we have a better look at that Blood Moon trophy, as I just take the top off and leave the cup there. Who cares? Very nice design, very nice build. I like that quite a bit. That just kind of goes on like that, so it can be showcased through the window. Couple of plants there, plant and a pot, and some fire. Very cool. Blue and orange fire. That means it's extra special. On the second level, we have a training dojo. So this thing can spin, and this thing can rotate and move too. So you can punch that and spin that and all that. You can put a couple of figures there too. These are probably beds or mats or something. Up beyond that, we have a couple of other things going on. Quite a detailed temple, despite being kind of skinny and kind of small. Nice phone there. Surely that means something. Couple of pictures on the wall back there, including one of our buddy Robbie. What's up, bro? Maybe you're actually someone important, who knows. You can look out the windows or whatever on either floor. And up on top, here's a better look at that fire that we saw earlier, along with the little crown section from behind. Here we have a look at one of the bigger trees. Again, wish we had more tree action going on in this set, but who's to say. Moving on down to the other side, let's take a look at this house, which we talked about a little bit earlier. This is just a small little hut here. You can put a figure right there. The garage door roofs don't really reveal much of anything, but you can fit someone there if you want. It's a very tiny, very empty house that I guess is just kind of there for, again, display purposes or whatever. And here we have the dock section from the other side. Not really missing anything here that we haven't seen already. Welcome back to this angle. Before we wrap up, I just wanted to give you guys just a really quick overview of the set again and talk about some things that I wish were maybe a little bit different. First of all, with the actual temple itself, my only complaint, maybe there could have been more detail breaking up a lot of just the colored sections, I guess you could say. Like, for example, there's a lot of blue here. Would have loved to have seen maybe some more leaves on there, maybe a nice big tree behind it. That would have been super cool, something like that. We have a lot of little trees, and I like the little trees. I would like to see a big tree behind it, for example. I think that would have made the build a lot more engaging, if you will. I love the blacksmith shop. It's cute, it's quaint. The giant rock section, admittedly, is kind of like what the majority of the build goes into. Not a huge fan of how that turned out. I mean, the rock presence as it is, it's definitely fine, but I kind of wish that maybe there was more. Maybe like another building over here or something bigger than just that tiny little shack. Maybe something to contrast against the temple. Can you imagine if there was something right there, like behind the bridge, behind the dock, behind that little shack, like another building right here, for example, that would go up to like around there? That would have been awesome. Definitely would have been a lot more city-esque, if you will. You know, like this is the tournament temple city. It doesn't really feel like a city, all things considered. But I do like the rock section, but that is where the majority of the build is going, so keep that in mind. We also have a couple of other smaller things here that I like. But again, I just wish there was something more, something else, maybe something, again, right here, to make this feel more like a city. Because as it stands, this is a temple. This isn't the tournament temple city. This is just the tournament temple. And really quick before we wrap up, here we have the spare parts and the spent sticker sheet, and here we have the 2 instruction manuals. Yes, you do get 2 manuals in this set. It is quite the large set. So to wrap up my thoughts on the Tournament Temple City, what exactly do I think about this set? Do I like it? Do I not like it? Well, as I'm sure you could tell by my review, I do like this set quite a bit. However, I do have some complaints. Again, I feel like this is more so just a tournament temple, not a tournament temple city. I do not get city vibes from this necessarily. Perhaps if they added another building, maybe that would have fixed that problem for me. At the same time, I feel like this set is maybe a little bit too expensive just as it is. I mean, $250 for 3,000 something pieces, that is pretty good, but I feel like the price could have been better. Maybe if this set was strictly $200, I would have liked that a little bit more. I do like the amount of minifigures that you get, though. Some of the side builds are questionable, like I said, but some of the minifigures are very cool. I also would have loved to have seen more trees, more nature, maybe just capitalize on that aesthetic if you weren't going to add another building. Maybe even some water would have been awesome, much like other Ninjago city sets that we've seen. Overall, though, I definitely do not mind this set. I would recommend it. It is a very awesome set in its own right. Like I said, though, this set is pretty much the culmination of a lot of other Ninjago sets that I love, and as a result, it's hard for me to not at least like this set just a little bit, right? So leave all of your thoughts down below in the comments surrounding this set. Thank you for watching this far if you made it to the end. If not, I get it. These larger set reviews sometimes are a struggle to record, for lack of a better term. But thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this one, feel free to like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Peace.